Alright, hi guys, so very different video setup today. I'm going to use my streaming setup to do it, so I can lay my lines on the map and track sort of where I went. I don't know if I'll get it all. So this is for my driving debrief for yesterday, the 9th of November, because I got back late. And we start at Yelverton Roundabout. Actually, Yelverton by the shops is where I got picked up. Somewhere in here. So I'm going to do a thick 5 strength light grey line. And I'm going to try and follow where I went. So we started in this bay here. So I haven't really parked in these bays yet. These bays seem easier than normal bays because you're reversing at an angle, and this angle is always easier. It's made easier for you by the fact that the bay is not straight like the ones behind. So was looking all around us, looking at the blind spot. He got me kind of relying on the stupid reversing camera thing, which was not very good because it made me miss. Like, there was a pedestrian starting to walk behind us and I had to stop, but the blind spot camera didn't really show it as the pedestrian being near us or in danger of being hit, but if I looked out the back mirror I probably would have got a better view of that. So I was going up here. There was a street cleaning machine up here that appeared, but Tony said it was stopping to wait for us, so I continued turning the wheel to finish the maneuver. Took it out of reverse gear and went first gear, and we went through past this petrol station. God damn, what did I just do there? I was trying to reach for a control, but it thought it was putting a waymark down. There we go. And here, a bit of an iffy junction here. It's a little hard to see down that road. I'm not quite sure where that road goes actually, I can't remember. And then up to here you've got a good view up this way, turning left onto the Yelverton Roundabout. Looking to the right, first exit left, so we gotta keep left. And then, not sure what that middle lane. Oh, that middle lane is a central reservation for turning right into the aerodrome, and the rock is over here somewhere, I think. Oh, maybe the rock's not here. Maybe the rock's further on than that. Yeah, it might be. So we didn't do any aerodrome stuff. We shuttled along here at high speed. It's it went from a 40. You got weird speed limit zones here. You've got over here you've got like a 40. Then somewhere around here you've got a 30, I think, but up here it's still a 40. That car park's probably a 20. This is either a 20 or a 30. This is a national, so you've got all these crammed in together sort of thing. I'm gonna have to do some volume editing on this video though, as well as cutting things. So we zoomed off along this. If you're familiar with the area, the Tavistock to Plymouth route is very, how do you say it, crowded, very commonly used, very regularly used by a lot of people, popular maybe. Now this is the turning for the rock. That's also got a central reservation. We didn't go in there. And I was going past these little things and I was calling them bollards, and I went, oh, there's a bollard there. And I went, that's not the term for it, is it, Tony? Sorry. That's like a traffic island. And then I was like, well, why do I keep calling them bollards? What is the official item that would be regarded as a bollard? And then he showed me when we got to Plymouth, it's like these stone pillars, like mini obelisks made out of stone that come up to like stomach height, I guess. That's a tour, by the way. Roborough Rock. Always used to play there as kids and climb up on it and stuff. Oh god, did the thing again. So now we are following the A386, the main road from Plymouth to Oakhampton, which you can access many tours on, and if you look at my videos, Western Line, you'll be able to find out what tours you can access from there. I don't know why this looks like a solid... Is this meant to be a solid white line in the middle? Or is it a double... Oh, I think it's a double solid white line. It looks really odd, like it's gigantic single white solid or something. It must be the satellite showing it weirdly. I came down here. Tony said, beware of golfers and cyclists. This is where the annoying golf club is, the Yelverton Golf Club, where the patrons who use it seem to be assholes in my experience. Complete assholes to hikers coming through a designated public footpath that runs off by Chubtor up this end. So if you're just walking around, they'll like shout things at you. If you're just like admiring the scenery or taking photos, they're like, could you shut up and stuff. Like, even if you're not talking loud, they think they own the place. They do not. Anyway, went up here. I think we've got up to 5th gear, and he said the rules for 5th gear are sort of like, if you drop under 40 miles an hour, you should do 4th gear. If you approach a hill, you should do 4th gear, because it's a better hill climber than 5th. If you stay over 45 generally, I think it's that, then you stay in 5th. So zoom in along here, he's aware because the golfers and cyclists sometimes are... The golfers are either trying to cross the road, I guess the cyclists are just alongside you. So this is quite a long straight road, I don't know if you've been on it, very long straight, you've got downs on either side, it lasts for a while. So I'm just going to skip some of this, Roborough down. And then somewhere up here, the down sort of ends and it gets more closed off. And there's this cafe thing, and Tony's scared of this cafe. He says the way the road is laid out here, loads of people have had crashes and stuff. And he says if you're doing like 60 miles an hour, or if you're on a national, you don't ever want to turn right to access the car park of a place like this, because it's just too fast. You don't want to be braking, you don't want to be going low speed or stopping, slowing down a lot to access the entrance of these places. So the best thing to do there to make this easier is to go all the way up to, there's a roundabout. There's the roundabout at Roborough. They call it a U-turn. Go all the way around the roundabout is what I would call it, and then come all the way back up on the other side of the road that the cafe's on, and then it's slightly easier to slow down a little bit and slip into here. But, and he said there've been so many accidents here. He had a name for it, like Hell, I don't know, Hell Corner or Hell Cafe or something like that. And there was a guy like coming out of the car parking lot as we passed. He stopped there. He looked okay. He looked like he was waiting for traffic and stuff. As we passed and went down here, there was a black car coming up here and went beep. And I went, is that for us? Did we do something wrong, Tony? He went, no, that was that car pulling out of this cafe. So this car, black car, was going zoom down here at high speed. And behind us, this guy who I thought looked okay must have actually just pulled out in front of him, and he wasn't going a high enough speed to pick up speed before the black car caught up with him. So that's what the horn beeping was. So it was like nearly an accident. He's like, I'm glad that near miss happened, because then I can show you live how dangerous it is. So we shuttled on up here. I think there was a new speed limit around here somewhere. It might have gone down to 40 or something. I don't know if I like this colour. Can I make this a different colour? Later, maybe? That's a little bit better. and then we got to click on this so it doesn't spam waypoints. And there's the roundabout here. He says, like, what gear you meant to be doing? He's doing that question phase on me. So I'm meant to approach all roundabouts pretty much in second gear. Second gear gives me the flexibility to go, but I have to be ready to go first gear if I'm going to stop, or I bring the car to a stop and then select first gear at the line. But I came down here in fourth gear, I believe it was, and he mentioned the gear change, and I didn't do it till late, so I did the gear change up here somewhere. I should have done it further back. I should have slowed down a lot earlier, I think. This bit we'll see in a minute. This is interesting. This is like an old route from Plymouth to Yeovilton, whereas this A386 in Tony's day hadn't even been constructed. It didn't even exist. So at that point there were just farmer fields here. You couldn't even go. You couldn't even drive up here. You'd have to, like, this is the beginning of the route to Yeovilton from Plymouth. Then you'd come off apparently, and then you'd go back on. I don't know if it's, maybe you come down here and then past these farmer fields and shit. I haven't really traced that route before, but that's not what we're here for today, so I'm not going to trace it now. I'll trace the bit we were on. So yeah, unfortunately did this 40 seconds too late, which didn't give me enough time to look, to slow down to go. He said you should really be creeping here, which meant my steering suffered and I needed to keep in this left lane. Apparently I was drifting more middle, so I needed to keep very left, because we were going left first exit up into Plymouth at the Roborough area. We're basically in Plymouth now though. So we came up here and he said there's like a left-hand slip road approaching. That's a bus stop. That's around when he told me the slip, the left-hand turning was approaching. Actually didn't know it was a slip road, but yeah, it's like a slip road off the carriageway sort of thing. And here's where it is. I didn't know it had begun here, so I could have come off earlier, but instead I came off around here. Slowed down, and there was a junction immediately after coming off the slip road. Dealt with that okay, I think. Went round here, and he said, like, park up somewhere, so we parked up like here. We did a little debrief there. He talked about the journey from Yeovilton to Plymouth, because we're in Plymouth, and then he told me that this road here surprisingly used to be the road from Plymouth to Yeovilton. So all that bit with the roundabout and the big road, that never existed. You'd go up here, off, and then I guess you'd go up here somewhere to get to Yeovilton. That's because this thing wouldn't exist even. Not sure if any big things happened during the debrief. He said it was okay, and I discussed the roundabout and sort of, I think I got the problems right. Then we looked around and pulled off. Pulling off is a lot easier now. You just got to make sure you do all the checks, and if there's someone coming up behind me, I don't tend to pull off. I kind of tend to just wait for them to piss off or look like they're waiting, I guess. Then we zoom up here. There's some pink pub building type things. Parked cars either side, call a tunnel. So second gear, I guess. Sometimes I have to pull in to let stuff through. I don't think we did have to though. Then it came out here and I realised we weren't going to some different random place. We were coming back to where we were, sort of thing. So we did the roundabout again. And I got it right, I think. Yeah, I think I got it right, pretty much. Came back through, and we're on that road again. And this time, oh fuck, I hate doing that. I don't know where we got to. Is that might be why. God damn. The perils of using Google Earth. It's not that bad, to be honest. It's just finicky little things. Yeah, Plymouth is a city in the southwest of England, in Devon. One of the two cities, unless, I don't know if you count Penzance or Falmouth as a city. I tend to not. Anyway, It's very busy and it has a lot of traffic lights. I was mainly there to try and do the major roundabouts. We didn't see enough of those, to be honest. We saw a few around Mutley. So we bombed it up here. I think the speed limit may have actually gone down at some point to a 40. We were approaching, this is like a Tesco's, so we call this Tesco roundabout. There's a speed camera here, I think it's 40 though, so we were doing an okay speed. I don't go over 40 that much. And then there's this roundabout here, Tesco roundabout, so they call it that because if you turn left you go into Tesco's. And there's another roundabout there which I forgot about. Didn't go there. So the problem with this one is you're on the approach here. I guess you're second gear. There's a crossing here. Not sure what lane. I think we're in the left lane. Yeah, there's like you're in. There's like two lanes here. There's your lane on the left, and then there's another lane on the right. I think it's kind of like dual carriageway. I think that sort of ends at this. Does it end at this roundabout, or does it continue? Either way, we're in Plymouth. So it's more town speeds. Two lanes, then a crossing, and then suddenly you don't realise it until after when he did a debrief and showed me the video. Your 2 lanes suddenly becomes 3 lanes straight after the crossing. You don't select the leftmost lane because that's going to Tesco. We're going into Plymouth, towards Major Plymouth, which is that exit there, so second exit. I think he says you don't indicate, because that was meant to be like a straight ahead. So I didn't see, I was over here, and he was like, no, you got to be in that lane, so I went over there. It wasn't as janky as that, it was more like that. And then there's a bollard. I said it again, look. I'm always calling it a bollard. There's a traffic island here with 2 plastic sticky up things, like bollards. And I came here and I was going to come on the crossing like this. Not realising, I suppose there's 3 lanes here. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, I think there's 3 lanes here. There's one for that guy, one for this guy, one for this guy. So I started doing that, but then he did my steering off to pull me like that. We were almost clipping the island, so that's why I wouldn't have done that. And after in the debrief he said he was adjusting my steering to the left the whole time because I was not fully gauging that there was like 3 lanes in here. There's no road markings for the lanes on the roundabout. You just have to guess, which is worrying. So you don't take this one. This side of the bollard, tuck in. You follow this dotted line around here. And you don't quite realise. I thought it was 2 lanes, which is probably why I was more to the right than I should have been. And then you come off. And we debriefed that later and he told me why. You zoom over here, and I didn't notice this either until the debrief. At the time when I did it, I didn't notice it. You're on 2 lanes again, but the 2 lanes are merging into one right here. And I don't think there's any signs for it. You just kind of have to deal with it like you're a zipper sort of thing. And the 2 lanes become one here, and I didn't know that was a merge, so I would have worried about that. I would have not understood that if I was on my own and something bad happened. I wouldn't have figured out why. But it's good you have this tool of Google Earth because you can actually look at it, and if you get back after like some accident, you can look at the road and try and spot the road markings with the satellite. You can't do that with the Google Maps that doesn't have satellite imagery because you can't see the paint on the road and stuff. And Street View helps too. See, if I wanted, I could. Let's do it. In fact, I can do a Street View here. I can do boing. This is where the merge happened, somewhere around here, I think. The problem with the Street View camera is though, it's always taken from one side of the road because it's just they send the dumbass evil Google van out. And it does every road, it photographs every road, but it only photographs it from one side, and then it's like, I've been there. So we were driving to the left of where that thrifty van was. We were in that lane, so you can't really see because the Google van is obviously driving down this road doing a 360 cam. That's the roundabout, Tesco roundabout we came off. But we were in this road, and so I don't know if you can see the road markings actually very clearly because cars eclipse the road markings from you, but basically the white line runs out about here. There's also an arrow that says get in, which would have been quite helpful if I saw it, but the paint's rubbed off. So if they repainted that, I'd be like, oh, that's a get in line, that's like a merge line. That's like you see for overtaking when you're on the country roads. And then you see it becomes one lane here because it's just too narrow to be 2 lanes. Look at that car there. So yeah, let's turn this on again. That's not it. Where's my grey line, please? That's what I'm selecting, not the blue line. Bombed it up here. Now I'm gonna lose myself at some point here. I know we did Mutley Plain, but we did a couple of turn-offs that I've never been to before. Been to places that I've never been, essentially, on this journey, and I don't know if I'll be able to find them. How are we doing here? 22 minutes. So we're just zooming up here at the moment. There's a lot of traffic lights for stopping at, so we did a lot of looking quite far ahead for the traffic lights. Actually, I think what we're doing before Mutley and all that is the George, which is an area of heavy, like a heavy intersection. We were looking for markings on the road. I think it was to Estover, or was it to city centre? It was either Estover or city centre. And there were several, and he said like during a roundabout sometimes, or after a crossroads, you'll see 2 lanes for your exit, and they'll both say the same thing, the same location, destination, and you've mostly got to select the left-hand lane because the right-hand lane is a bit like an overtaking lane for when you've left the junction. So I hope I've got that right. So there's another one that says city centre here, so I guess we're actually in this one that said Estover, thinking about it. And then traffic lights here, boxes that you shouldn't go into unless your exit is clear, but when you're at a crossroads and you see this box, you can go into them, and you can park in the box, not park, you can stop in the box while you're waiting for oncoming traffic, for instance if you wanted to turn right. So we learned that one of my past lessons when I asked him about it. Lots of stopping, lots of little handbrake thing, getting the revs, checking the mirror behind you just before you start off. You kind of got to check your blind spot when you're starting off from traffic lights. Not only when there's a cycle lane next to you, but when there's not a cycle lane next to you. So yeah, I need to get into the habit of doing that. This is a complicated, you can kind of see what we're dealing with here. That gives some idea. I guess some of these are coming out of the park and ride, come to think of it, and maybe that's what the problem is. Well, that was empty when they took that satellite photo. Yep, so traffic lights, traffic lights, traffic lights. Zoomed across here. Look at this mess of cars. Traffic lights again. Bombing it around here. I think he said we're going to take a turning for Marjons around here, but we never went to Marjons. We went to the airfield. So we didn't... Right, okay, so I almost skipped a bit there. He said we're going to take the left here. So signal left. So you check mirrors, signal left, and slow down. Try and get second gear, I guess. And then merge into this little windy thing here. Is that still a dual carriageway? I think that's still considered a dual carriageway. Yeah, you meant to have a central gap between you. Or do you call that a single carriageway? I'm not sure. I'm a bit baffled by single carriageways, to be honest. Everything I see that's a single carriageway, I'm calling a dual carriageway, and everything I see it as a dual carriageway, I'm also calling a dual carriageway. So maybe I'm not spotting single carriageways. Is it just when you've got two or three rows heading this direction and there's nothing to your right heading the opposite way? I feel like it's that. Anyway, this used to be Plymouth Airport. You can kind of see it if I zoom out. That's the thing about big satellite maps, is if you want to find an airport in a town, you're going to find it easily because they're massive. They haven't done anything with this. I wish it would just stay an airport, but they decommissioned it years ago, and I was alive when it wasn't decommissioned, and I would have liked to have flown from there, to be honest, but now I have to use Exeter. We came up here. This is the road that ends up going up to Marjohn's, which is St Mark and John's College, which is like a sport and medical college. It seems kind of evil to me, to be honest. As do many schools, homeschool your kids. There's my first channel stuff's creeping into my second channel there, but deal with it. Came up here, there's like a bus stop. We could pass over bus stop. Later I had to deal with bus lanes, and they don't always appear to you very obviously. Tony said as a general rule, never drive in a bus lane, but you can cross over a bus lane to turn left into a junction entrance sort of thing. A road on your left. But in London there are some bus lanes where there's a date stamp on the sign or something that like says Monday to Sat these times, and that's the times that the bus lane is a bus lane, and if it's not those times then the bus lane isn't a bus lane and you can drive through it. Sounds confusing as fuck to me. I think Tony's rule is better, never go in a bus lane. The problem is, bus lanes starting on your road is very difficult to see. It's like a diagonal, if they got the paint right, it's a diagonal dotted line and a blue sign. The diagonal line begins the bus lane in front of you, and a solid line on the right, which you're meant to get right of that before it happens. And before that there's a blue sign showing bus lane, and taxis can use the bus lane, which might confuse me a lot. I think it's either cyclists or motorcyclists can use the bus lane, and obviously buses. We went over one later in the day which had worn off paint on the diagonal, and I couldn't see to get out of the bus lane before it began, and so he had to grab the steering wheel to take me out of the bus lane as it began, because the paint was just worn away. We looked at it on his iPad cameras afterwards, and he was like, yeah, it's worn away. That's annoying, because it's my signifier that the bus lanes begin, when actually what I should be using as a signifier that the bus lane begins is the blue sign. So that's what I've got to learn. I'm also getting the hang of one-way signs and don't turn right at a junction signs. We pulled in around here. There's a bus stop here, then there's a weird double bay, which I think are like reserved bays, and then there's a mega bunch of bays, which is quite nice. We pulled into one of these. I don't know what the deal is with these, if you have to pay and display. I assume so, because it was mostly empty. We did a debrief. I can't remember what the debrief consisted of, so it's probably better, unless I really know, to just tell you that we got going after that. Checked behind mirror signal, and then got going down the hill. There's a junction down here. Gear 2. Come up to here. Almost, I had to ask him again if we're going right or left. We're going right, so position there, because it's not a one-way road, two-way road. If we're going left, we'd go around the corner a bit, onto here, went up here. There's a couple of weird roundabouts here. No, there's one where he said, take the third road on your right, or something like that. I was like, what the, that's a weird instruction. I said, is it a roundabout? Well, if it's a roundabout, you'd be saying third exit or something. He said, oh, it's actually third road. But it was a roundabout, so that confused me, and still does to this day. So, can we see it? We went up here. It is a roundabout. He called it third road on your right. instead of saying third exit, so there's some kind of distinction there that I'm missing. Second gear, look around. Was maybe looking up there. One of the times I went round a mini roundabout, I forgot that where I was meant to be looking was to the right for traffic coming round, and I was like just going to go onto the roundabout, not quite knowing where I was looking. I think it was because there was too many signs or something at the time, and there was traffic, so it was distracting. So I don't know what he meant by third road on the right. We started hugging this. This is weird. This here, you can't really see it. Let's go on Street View. It looks like so that's the centre of the roundabout, a raised curb. This is like a weird half-raised ramp. It's kind of flat, to be honest. You could drive on it easily, but it's like brown concrete. Let's see if we can get a look at it. And I thought it was... Look at that. You see it's raised slightly? I thought that was something to do with... It used to be a solid white line around the edge, so you couldn't cross it. But he says, no, it's fine, you can cross onto this. I thought the purpose with this is to, like, tell cars not to go on that bit, like a white line would. But apparently you can just drive on it. So I don't know what it is. What is this? It's a hill, like, there's the actual curb, with a raised pavement area in the centre, with signs. But this is like a very tiny hill, like a speed bump, but not even as high as a speed bump. But it's definitely raised. It's so odd to me. I don't know what that is. He also showed me something later on called a fire lane, which was like a little neighbourhood where flats used to catch fire a lot, so they say be careful where you park so a fire engine can get through. Anyway, we kind of crossed, so we went on this hump like this, and we went up here, I think. I guess Marjon's is around here. We didn't see the entrance of it. He said there's something coming that's not a roundabout, it's a way of joining. I think we're up by Derriford, sort of, around here. It's a junction, it's a T-junction bent on the left, which you can see in the road layout here. I think we're meant to be positioned right, because we were turning right. We had to do some special thing here, I can't remember what it was. There's a crossing there, so you might have to pause there, but we didn't. There might be a cycle lane there, so you'd have to pause where my line ends, but we didn't have to. Went up to there. There's a bus lane there, and I didn't realise. We're gonna go around here, and I thought the goal was to come around here, but apparently no, because at the last moment you see that's a bus lane. I don't think it's signposted back here or something that there's going to be a bus lane anyway. So you kind of just cross around this bollard, and you've got to go in that lane, which that looks confusing as fuck to me. You can't go in that lane because you'd hit the bollard. I guess it intuitively makes sense if you look at the road markings. Can't go in that lane because it's a bus lane. Can't go in that. Once you know that you should stay out of bus lanes all the time, because that's another thing that I was thinking about that he explained to me. Probably best to stay out of bus lanes all the time. Then I probably would have been more likely to stay out of that. So we went up here. This is the what do you call this roundabout? What do we call this? So I don't know. There's the outside. This isn't outside Derriford, because so we didn't go to Derriford. That's up here. That's probably got some kind of roundabout. No, that's got a busy ass crossroad over there. It's got a mini roundabout there, which that's more like Derriford roundabout, isn't it? I don't know what you call this one, but it's huge. Is this an entrance to Derriford though? I think the Western Morning News building is down there. I should call it the Western Morning News roundabout. At this point your lane splits into two. I can't remember. I think we select the one that says Tavistock, but they both say City. I think we did. I don't know why we did that. Venus Park. Venus Park is Business Park. So I don't know. Let's see these city ones. That's city for these guys. This is city for us. I don't understand. I think we're in this one, but which one? I mean, that's the right one. I can't quite remember which one we're in. That seems like the right one because it comes up here. Traffic lights. Don't go over the cycle lane. Don't go over the crossing when people are walking. You're past it now. It's green for you, so you don't have to watch out for traffic from your right, I think, when there's traffic lights on the roundabout. I mean, you still have to kind of watch out because crazy people. Anyway, so this is so complicated, but we didn't do enough of it for me to get used to it. There's another traffic light there, and then we signal left and come off. See, there's a bus lane beginning. That's quite easy to avoid because we're already in a lane. So we're in this now. This is where like KFC is and McDonald's on the right, and like some kind of housing gear store, furniture shops. Traffic lights up here. This might be a big video because we did a lot. Traffic lights here. I don't know if we turned off anywhere. I don't think we turned off. Eventually we do the big roundabouts that take you up towards Mutley. There's a merge there with the left. I wouldn't have seen that while we were going. Now we're in two lanes. Yes, here is the approach to some big roundabouts. Up here is all kind of hilly and uphill. Up here's a place, like a pub called the Golden Hind or something. Over there's like a vet. There's I don't know if this is a motorway that's running underneath, but you completely ignore that. You're doing all this spaghetti that's on top. He said, do you want to do the easy way here, or do you want to do the hard way? I was like, ooh, go on, give me the hard way, give me the scary way. He says, okay, so we're going to indicate left, come off this slip road. When you come off a slip road, go right. We're going to go to Mutley, so look at the paint on the ground says Mutley, Liskeard to Mutley, Liskeard and Mutley. We didn't go to Liskeard. That's cool, you can go to Liskeard from there. Came down here, handled this roundabout okay, I think. Way at the line, traffic from the right. I don't know if it's, I don't think this is traffic light controlled, so I think we were actually looking. Then, I don't know, I might have got steering wrong a bit. Come into the roundabout and you cross this weird line. That's probably what was confusing. So you don't, maybe I thought it was going there, but you cross a diagonal right here. That's a confusing one. It still says Mutley on the road, you can make out. And then I believe we came off just here. Going up the hill now. Let's see what it's like here. Coming off the roundabout, heading to Mutley. There's the pub thing called the Golden Hind, which I always think of like Hind helicopters. You know, the big Russian Apache helicopter type thing they have. That's what comes to mind when I see Hind. So here's what it's like. There's traffic lights everywhere. Obviously that keeps happening, and it warps a bit, but you can jump ahead like this. And we went up here, so it's sort of uphill here. Were we in this lane? You can be in either. Can you be in either lane? At some point you might have moved me over. I think that's an overtaking lane, so I'm gonna say that we were in this lane, to be honest. Wait, no, were we in this lane? I think they merge around here, because look, there's a dotted line and it disappears, so I think they merge. Yeah, they merge anyway, it doesn't matter. Came up here. Where is Mutley? It's hard to see where it is. Maybe we'll just shuttle up to, see, there's one of those bus lanes beginning. I don't think I noticed that one. You see the diagonal and the solid, but they've left a gap in the bus lane for people turning left, but you still have to check you have to check that way when you're turning left, I think. But your indicator is showing up, so hopefully the buses are slow for you. Is this right? Yeah, because we're avoiding the bus lane, aren't we? Keep clear, there's some kind of junction here. I don't think we turned. Plymouth's big, I only know the main parts of it. Same with all cities except like Bristol and Bath, to be honest. I can't quite work out where we are. There's a cycle lane there. City centre. I'm a little bit flummoxed right now. I'm going to put the Street View man down. Okay, so there's walls and things here. It's not Mutley Plain yet, so... Mutley Plain is like a shopping... It's like a mini high street. Not actual centre of Plymouth high street. So here it is. I guess we're in left because we're going straight ahead. So you've come down this steep hill up here that bends around to the right there, you can see. There's boxes, look if your entrance is free. And we went down here to Mutley Plain. There's this weird mega junction. It's like a medium-sized roundabout built around a pub called the Hyde Park, which sits on an island surrounded by cars. It seems like the worst place for a pub, to be honest. And this is what Mutley Plain looks like. It's kind of like a chavvy mini high street place. A bit more run down, I guess, than central Plymouth. All of Plymouth is kind of run down, to be fair, except maybe the Hoe and the Barbican. Came up here. Pedestrians on islands, worried about if they're going to cross. They're kind of hovering on the islands, even though it's green for us. I got up to here. He said we're going to take a left up here, and they said, oh, we can't take a left because the road ahead is closed. So we're approaching this traffic light at the end of Mutley Plain. Let's see where the shops end there. What's going on here? The Google van is hopping all over the place. So this road here was closed off today and had signs and stuff across it. So we went, okay, we're actually going to go up here instead. And as we were saying that, the signs blew over in the wind, and we joked like, oh, it's free now, we can enter now, it's fine. But no, we continued up there, which I don't think I've been up before, not sure. Don't think I have. Unless the bus takes a detour sometimes. So it's a confusing little place. There's a weird church building here. I don't know what that is. Next to that Audi sign. The courthouse. I might just get friggin' lost up here now, to be honest. Might have even turned off at some point. Is this where it says fire lane? We might have turned off here. No. So it was a place like this later on where it said like fire lane on the ground. I'm honestly, after this point, I'm having trouble tracking where we went because I don't know it. So we went up here. Ah, look, the water's there. So I don't think we went as far as the water. That's interesting. Cat water. Huh, Mount Batten. Oh, we're not that far from Wembury Beach. That's interesting. So we did go, he said we weren't going into the centre of Plymouth, but we basically did. Plymouth Station is there. We didn't go right up to the shopping centres and stuff over there. It's hard to work out where we did go here though. Can I see a place that says fire lane? See, that's what it looks like. Let's have a quick look in here. Okay, this is the turning we took. Interesting. Is that a fire station there? Holy fuck, that might be a fire station. I didn't notice that. Maybe that's why that says fire lane, because the fire engines are always using it. Yeah, so it was a junction that was on a bend, and then you go down here, warping. Can't see that because we passed it now. There, it's upside down, but you can see what it says. So that is, you mustn't park on the sides of the road. There's like, I think there might be specified parking, or if you do park, you gotta park like half on the pavement or something, so that there's room, because the fire engines go through here regularly, and these buildings catch fire quite often, I'm told. Bloody students messing with the candles. Alright. So it's quite a tight turn, and it's got a yellow box junction as well. I think it might be a one-way system. It's quite tight for two directional traffic. What does it say on the outer of it? Oh, Google's account problem has to close. God damn it. Is it gonna remember where I've put my fucking thing? I didn't get to save it. Bastards. I hate this. I thought this was gonna happen when I did a stream video, and it has. Fucking hell. I can find that bit that I was on, but I can't necessarily... I think my line's been destroyed, guys. The one I was making. Let's zoom in. Fuck. Yeah, it's killed my line, dudes. Try and get back to where we were. There's Muttley. So let's just redo that again. Will it let me do this without crashing? Yeah, so it's one way. You got the little blue signs there. So you got to look for blue signs in the sea. You got to look for these blue signs, and you got to look for the blue signs that start the bus lanes. So we went up the fire lane. Not sure what we did after that. I guess this is a turning one way, so you can orient. I think we went left actually. We might have gone left. Just having a look at it myself. Something's telling me we went left. Is that Devonport High School either for girls or for boys? Is that what that building is? That's what I feel like that is. I don't think we went down to Muttley Plain again. At some point we went to we went to that roundabout that's round the Hyde Park, what do we call it? Pub? Island? Do you know, I think we actually went this way. I'm not sure though. I think we did. Roland Vinsky building, that sounds familiar. Ah, this would have taken us up to PCAD and Plymouth University. There used to be one called Plymouth College of Art and Design, which I went to as my first of two universities. So we didn't go there. So we definitely turned off before that. Where did we turn off? Did we actually go down here? See, I don't remember even going down here, necessarily. No, this looks like... I think well, once we got here, I would have seen those buildings and went, okay, we're at the uni. I don't think we actually did this bit. And I certainly would have seen that dumb diagonal building they did for the university. What are those flags? I'm worried about those flags. What are they flying? What is this a museum? Damn it. Okay, they're not flying anything too weird. I can't identify the flags, so... So where the fuck... Did we turn off here? Or something? I don't think so, because I would have seen that. This is all probably confusing for you guys, because it's just me like trying to work out my memory of where I've been. We didn't go there. Maybe we did go to Muttley in the opposite direction, but I don't remember it, that's the thing. I feel like maybe we turned left earlier than that. Or turned right earlier than that. Thing is, I don't remember going down Muttley in this direction. You know, what I do remember is up at the Hyde Park roundabout thingy, the way we came in at it was like this. We came in and we went to Muttley Plain down there. But the way we came out was over here somewhere. Facing inward. We came along this, which says to me that this here was part of the route. And that's quite a ways off. Like, what did we do here? Where is this? You can't see hills too well on Google Street View. Or Google Earth, actually. We did some weird shit around here. Should I just draw a big wonky ass loop? That's like... I'm guessing we went around this way to get back. So the problem here is I've just drawn this squiggly over everything. I don't know where we went here. At some point we were on like a... It was like a... You know the San Francisco hill thing? Where it goes all the way down and all the way up, but it's essentially a straight road. And you can see for miles. There was something like that. Around. I don't know where that would be. We were in this mess, and somewhere in it is a hill as I've described, like the San Francisco hill, straight up and down, and somewhere also in it is a pleasant housing estate where Tony said if he lived in Plymouth he would live here. Maybe it's near all this greenery or some shit. But it's such a dense area of housing, isn't it? That how are you gonna know? Unless you zoom around all the roads. How are we gonna know which one that is? Maybe a hill. Maybe if I position the Google Earth so it shows hills. Side on. Because you can see there are bloody hills in all of this. I don't remember a railway, but you wouldn't see a railway as a car, would you? It's difficult to know. There's some kind of valley over there, where the parks are. Is this part of it? I feel like it was longer than this, even. This is kind of a long straight road that dips down and goes up. I was in here, guys. I was in amongst these fucking roads. What can I say? I was in there, and there was all sorts of stuff there, actually. It's a shame I can't remember where we went at that point. There's like various kind of mergings into larger roads that were traffic light controlled. There's one that was like a right hand bend, but it looked like a crossroads and it was traffic light controlled. And we did that several times, but as to where that is, I have no clue. It's somewhere in this white area. Maybe the white area is even larger than the ring I've doodled on. But yeah, basically it was all in there. There was a bunch of stuff that we did, a lot of different experiences, and then we essentially drove back to Yelverton after that via the route we did. So I'm gonna leave it there. That's what we did yesterday. A route from Yelverton to Plymouth. Lots of different things covered. When I got into Yelverton with Tony, he said next week we're going to do next Tuesday, probably be Launceston. He said I did better than he thought, and I said that wasn't easy, but it was easier than I thought it would be. I got to watch out more for appearing bus lanes, and I've also got to figure out how to do, like, how to work with lanes. He didn't teach me enough of how to deal with lanes, changing lane, why you would change lane, all sorts of things like that. Anyway, different format today, as we can see. I'll leave this video here. I'm not sure how much editing I'm going to do. Might edit the ums out, I might not. I might leave all the ums in so you can see how ummy my videos are. No, I prefer to take them out. But yeah, that is today's driving debrief. Thank you for watching.
Of their VF 400 flight to Geneva.
you all right? Here, let me help you. You know, you're lucky to be alive.
Look at them.
A double blowout. I've never seen one of these before.
How could new tires?
A defect of some kind, most likely.